Hey, good afternoon, Joan, Darian, and soon to be Emily. Uh, I just want to send you, um, I could say it will be brief, but it probably won't be. But I wanted to send you a video, a message really, to to kind of give you some last thoughts about your characters and going forward with the You Got This performance. I know we had talked a little bit yesterday in rehearsal about your characters, about your character, should I say, actor four. And you know what? I kind of left that discussion feeling dissatisfied because number one, it wasn't a discussion; it was pretty much just me just talking at you. Um, and given the time constraints that we had, it wasn't my original plan to do that. I just want to let you know. I had hoped to do a full 45-minute dramaturgy, but I just needed to just get out some quick points to y'all, so I'm sorry about that. Um, but to kind of make it up, I want to just send you a more concise um, message about going forward with your character. So let me just get into that. Um, so, in examining, in this dissecting the script, and really like thinking about your character, actor four, I came to the conclusion that there are two overarching central questions that your character kind of faces, and so, um, and actually, just to back up a little bit, to remind you of something I mentioned yesterday, was that while actors two and three seem to be more concerned with like language construction and certain language being tied to them, to their identities, certain problematic language, I guess. But you, actor four, as well as actor one, are more concerned with fitting in to see you as I see it. So, given that theme of fitting in, here are those two overarching questions that I feel your character encounters. One, how could how can not having a lot of money impact the relationships you form and the things that you'll be able to do, um, or the things that you'll be able to experience here at CU? So, relationships you form, like how will not having a lot of money impact your ability to make friends and to get along with people and to relate to others, as well as like the things that you'll be able to experience here at CU. Like as we know, staying in college is just as expensive as getting in college, as it seems. I mean, joining clubs and Greek life, that's expensive. Studying abroad, that's expensive. Student fees, all that sort of stuff. They raise those things all the time. So that first question has two parts: the relationships piece, as well as like the things that you'll be able to do, your experience. So, so there's that question. And the second question is similar, but actually very distinct. Um, it reads, how could you achieve both a meaningful and an enjoyable college experience despite of you not having a lot of money? So the first question is, how do you think you not having a lot of money will play a role on your experience here at CU? Well, the second question is, despite of you not having a lot of money, what could you do? What could you do to still have a good college experience? Okay, so the second question just kind of builds off the first. Okay, and so in considering those two questions, as you go about thinking about those things, actually, this sounds bad, but I actually have um, a series of smaller questions that can help you um, in your considerations of those overall questions. So the first is what. Well, actually, just to back up. So in the scene, there are certain rich points that your character encounters. Actually, your character encounters about seven or eight of them. And what rich points are is that rich points are moments in which your character encounters tension, like grappling with different things, complexity, tougher moments. Okay, but we'll just call it that. But so in the scene, there are certain rich points your character encounters, right? And so here are some questions for you to think about during those rich points. Is that one? What are you calling attention to when you say certain lines during those rich points? Okay, so like, what are you highlighting? Two, what are you hoping to achieve um, by saying those lines? Like, what are your desired outcomes um, of saying those things? Three, when you experience those rich points, how do those how do those moments make you feel? Um, and Rebecca was talking about like personalizing your narrative. Okay, that's what that gets at. Four, if you could go back to change or remix those rich points to produce like better outcomes, um, what would that look like, and what would your character do or say to produce those better outcomes? Okay, and the last question is actually is another bigger question, um, but it's given that your character deals with the issue of class here at CU. Um, what is it that you would like the audience to walk away knowing about your character? Okay, what's the big so what about your character? Okay, so I know I just threw a whole lot of information, a lot of questions at you during this message, but I think that if you sit and think about these things, you'll be all good to go. I mean, I think that you all are doing fantastic work so far, and I'm not worried. I'm not worried about y'all. Oh, and by the way, I do find it interesting that out of the four characters, yours, the class one, is the only character that CU doesn't have an advocacy group to support your character. I mean, there are advocacy or resource centers dedicated towards race, sexuality, and disability, but not one on class. So I think that'll probably be something that you could kind of play with in your Q&A. Is like, where am I going to go to find a community that matches my issue? Like, where can I find support? I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. That's a very hard question. I don't think anybody would ask that to you, but just something to think about. All right. So let me know if you have any questions about these things. I'm very happy to follow up with you. I'm not sure if you have my digits, but my number is 909-223-2996. Feel free to email me or text me or call me around the clock. I'm available. All right. So with that, I'll probably see you on Thursday. Have a great performance, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye, y'all.